we're going down to New Orleans, y'all. The New Orleans West Mardi Gras all year round. And Neville Brothers bring a little Mardi Gras spirit with us everywhere we go, y'all.
New Orleans is the only city in the world with its own indigenous culture. But being a city with its own indigenous culture, its own music, its own food, its own way of speaking, its own dance, its own language, New Orleans is unlike any other place.
The people make New Orleans a special city. But musically, we melt all the music together, and that's something that a lot of port cities don't do. The cultures join their talents together and come up with something a lot different than a lot of port cities.
It's just so intoxicatingly fun. People love Fats Domino and Ray Charles and Little Richard and Jerry Lee. The Neville Brothers are exactly the same genre. They are the distillation of that genre. They are everything about New Orleans music that people love.
Oh, when you say Nevilles, man, it's like the funk of the city. The invention of New Orleans funk is that same vibe that started with the Nevilles, with that kind of uptown, what we would call uptown beat.
The Neville Brothers together was like the next link in the chain of a Fats Domino and a Louis Armstrong, because they represented, the same way Bob Marley was to Jamaica, the Neville Brothers were for New Orleans, because they brought New Orleans to the world, which is very important for us and lucky for the world.
I tell people nowadays I'm the artist formerly known as the youngest Neville brother. It's magic, you know? I mean, basically a family is magical itself, you know, and being on stage and looking in the faces of other families, enjoying what you're doing, you know, you get a real sense of what your mission is.
You can't imagine how you make me feel. But once this fantasy is now so real, I see love lights in your smile. Please, baby, stay a while. Yeah. If you like to take the grand tour of the lonely.
It's hard to describe. You just have to listen. It's a combined sound of all of our souls put together, you know. All four of us got together in 1976 to do Wild Chapatoulas with my Uncle Jolly. And that's when we decided, hey man, let's put the Neville Brothers together. So we started in 1977. Well, it was like a dynamic, you know. That's all word I can use, because like when we got together, we didn't have to say, well, you take this note or you take that note, or everybody just knew what note to take, you know.
I have to confess that I am a hardcore, diehard New Orleans music fan. The Neville Brothers have been considered the first family of New Orleans music. They're almost synonymous with New Orleans music in every way, shape, and form. I thought it was time, when ACL was beginning to stretch out beyond just our Austin and Texas roots, to bring a little bit of New Orleans music into the fold. And really, it was a dream to be able to get them to do it, to be the first New Orleans act to be on our show.
It was definitely a big deal, you know. We got to play on Austin city limits with the lights behind us, you know, the trees and all. I remember all of that.
When I think about Austin now, you know, like after staying there for 5 years, playing music with a lot of the musicians there and everything, that's like a second home.
As an American city, New Orleans is a pretty old place. That means that it has a lot of history, a lot of culture. And to make a mark in a creative place like New Orleans is pretty special. But there's no family like the Neville Brothers. It's unparalleled in terms of what they've been able to do and what they've been able to create and what they've been able to capture. It's very unique. They're a very special family.
As a group, they have a very unique sound. You don't sit still when you hear it. You have to move something if it's movable.
I mean, they couldn't help it, you know. Like once it started, it was on, you know. Like nobody, they were sitting down, they wanted to stand up. So the music gonna make it want to jump up and do something, you know.
I called them at one point the first family of funk, the Grammy woodwinds of Charles Neville, the righteous fire of Cyril Neville, the most beautiful voice on this side of the clouds, Aaron Neville, and the captain of the starship, R.T. Red Art Neville. Neville Brothers.